All right, it's time for a Rivian update.
You sure you don't want to do the story at the end of the show?
What are you talking about?
I think you're going to want what's in the box to kind of help soothe you.
You know, it's okay, Jesse. I think I've finally accepted that my Rivian is going to be a little late. I'm okay with that, and I've moved on.
Well, no, that's not really
because this truck is going to be awesome. I mean, tank turns. Like, what other car can do that?
Yeah, about that. The Motor Trend got the Rivian.
Motor Trend got the Rivian?
Yes.
Before us?
Well, yes, they are a Motor Trend.
Okay, great. I'm happy for them. Did they do some tank turns?
Why don't you just read the article?
Okay. First, unless conditions are perfect, it's possible each wheel will have a different amount of grip than the others and require more or less power to break traction. While the truck's computer can read the road surface via suspension inputs as you're driving, there's no good way for it to know exactly what the surface under each tire is like when you come to a stop. If any wheel is getting too much or too little power during a tank turn, it can cause the vehicle to spin off in a random direction instead of rotating in one place. Power delivery has to be programmed very carefully to respond to changing grip before and during a tank turn. You can see this issue crop up right at the beginning of the video. What video? What are they talking about?
The tank turn video?
Oh, right. The one from 2 years ago.
You remember at the very beginning that the car drives onto the screen and then it starts to do the tank turn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look in that first split second where it starts to do the tank turn, it's not spinning. It's getting pushed off in one direction, and then it happens to do the tank turn.
All right, let me keep reading the Motor Trend article here. And next, because the truck's wheelbase isn't square, that is because there's more distance between the front and rear axles than there is between the wheels on either side of each axle, it won't always rotate around the exact center of the vehicle, especially if the surface isn't consistent. If the point of rotation is off-center, it can cause the vehicle to spin off in any direction instead of rotating in one place. A safeguard needs to be programmed to recognize the situation and either correct it or end the tank turn. Well, I'm sure they've done that.
No, just keep reading. Just keep reading.
All right. Then there's the matter of gravity. In order to execute a tank turn, all four wheels have to break traction. Once that happens, the truck is at the mercy of physics. If the surface is inclined in any direction, the truck will slide in that direction as it spins. A safeguard needs to be programmed that can recognize this and shut it down before the truck spins into a tree, a ditch, or worse. Well, I mean, they probably programmed that in.
Just keep reading.
Finally, there's the matter of speed. During testing, Rivian discovered the amount of power needed to get all four wheels spinning results in a lot of wheel speed, which ends up making the truck spin around very fast. From inside the truck, it's a hell of a ride, so much so there's concern it'll scare drivers who aren't ready for it, which could result in a loss of control if the driver panics. So what are they saying?
It's delayed.
What's delayed?
Tank turn.
The thing they showed 2 years ago to 2 million people and promised, like, Rivian presents tank turn. All right, so let me just finish this article because maybe it tells us when it's coming. Right now, though, the majority of Rivian's engineering resources are dedicated to getting the R1T, the R1S, and the Amazon van out the door as smoothly as possible. After that, they'll have the R2 and the R3 models to work on. Although the team hasn't forgotten about tank turn, a complicated off-road tool that most buyers will only ever use once to show off to their friends and family, just isn't a top priority. Sanderson couldn't give us an updated timeline, but he knows full well how cool tank turn is and how plenty of people on his team are eager to perfect it.
So the video that they shared 2 years ago of them doing a tank turn wasn't really true.
Well, it was kind of doctored if you look at it because, I mean, they turned a muddy, flat piece of ground into the area. Mm-hmm. That's the only area it can safely do it. It can't do it if there's any mixed surface. The other thing I want to point out is this video about tank turns came out in December of 2019. What happened right before that?
The Cybertruck unveil,
yeah.
Which I'm sure if your Rivian was like not a good time, and I'm sure they were going like, well, what can we do? What can we do to get more sales and to, well, how can we get the story to be about us and not about Tesla? And so they said, oh, what was that thing that you were working on in your spare time, Mr. Engineer guy? Oh, yeah, I was working on tank turns. Really hard, though. It's fine. Can you get it to work? We'll send Greg with the film team. Go film it. And they probably spent a week trying to get a perfect tank turn.
Well, because if you look closely at the drone shot looking down on the tank turn, there's tire marks going off in all directions. So they probably had to shoot it over and over to get it right because it was probably shooting off in the wrong direction.
Right.
See, because here's the thing. I kind of thought tank turn was this thing where you could go really slowly and just slowly turn the vehicle. But from what I'm hearing here, you got to get the wheels up to speed.
Right. I mean, because when they show the video of the tank turn, it's like a 2-minute video. They do a lot of slow-mo. And I mean, obviously in slow-mo, the truck is turning very fast. But you might not necessarily think about it that way. Maybe it was just that they're having fun. You know, they're flooring it. They're doing something.
Well, here's the thing. I get it that it could be just a parlor trick that you show your friends. Like, I'm going to just spin around in the parking lot or something. But I think of it as more of a valuable thing to get you out of trouble. If you're going down a path and you can't really turn around easily, this could tank turn your way out of trouble. If you can't do it in a controlled way, if the car can just spin off in any direction,
right, you're never going to use it.
You're never going to use it.
I mean, cars have parlor tricks. Doing a burnout is not like, oh, thank goodness I can do a burnout,
but
right? That's a gimmick.
But I want to go back to, why couldn't you do it in slow speeds?
I don't think that the physics of it work out. Like, you really do need all 4 wheels to not have grip, which is kind of should have pretty much given us all a big red flag when we saw the video.
I don't know. Comment below. Let us know. Like, we don't know a lot about tank turns. So, like, comment below if you've done this before and you know about it, because I really want to learn more about this.
But I mean, to me, it's just kind of a deceptive marketing thing that they did. They were like, oh, how can we trick people?
Yeah, how can we one-up the Cybertruck?
And I mean, I understand you might say, like, okay, you guys keep working on this. I'm sure that we're going to have it ready in time. I understand that, but then have it ready.
Yeah, they had 2 years.
And it sounds like from the article, and maybe they're going to come out with some official statement that, like, it's just being delayed a month and they're going to put the proper resources on it. It sounds like they completely are not working on it anymore. Yeah. That they completely ditched it as soon as they were like, oh no, we have production issues.
Well, we have a poll about it this week in the Patreon poll so that we can see how people feel.
And I mean, I think the takeaway from this is prototypes are easy, production is hard.
Where have I heard that before? Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.